Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark Waterfall Hoffmeyer.
And I am Jay Magic Ladle Cluett, welcoming you aboard Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. On this show, Mark and I have dived our way through Deep Sea trilogy, scene by scene. Now looking at some Deep Blue Sea adjacent films or Deep Blue scenes, which is the case today. We're looking at another film that has some scenes similar to Deep Blue Sea. We've covered the second half of the Jurassic Park / World sextet. Six
Yeah.
film franchise, and we figured, hey, we should probably cover those first ones. So today we're covering what is not arguably the greatest film ever made, Jurassic Park. My favorite film for a show. I highly doubt this will be the only time we ever talk about Jurassic Park on this podcast, but we're gonna dip our toe into the waters of Jurassic Park today. We're looking at the ripples in the cup, the Sam Jackson death scene, and the kitchen fight.
Wow.
If
All
we
the
get that
Deep
far.
Blue Sea adjacent stuff. So we've talked about the kitchen fight a little bit.
I mean, I have a list of Deep Blue Sea adjacent stuff.
That's kind of, we got to save the last 10 minutes for that. We'll save that for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about the kitchen fight a little bit. Gremlins defeated it in our kitchen fight episode,
Yes.
which I'm still happy with because
am
Mrs.
too,
Peltzer's is a
yeah.
beast.
Yeah, and I feel like the kitchen fight in Gremlins is like the high point of Gremlins fighting, whereas in Jurassic Park, the kitchen fight is great, but it's not the pinnacle. The pinnacle for me is a T-Rex attack, which just I didn't need to watch it again for today's episode, but it's an excuse to watch Jurassic Park, so why not? And just that scene of the attack with the T-Rex, and then getting crushed in the mud, and Ian freeze. This is I use so many quotes from this film just in everyday life. I'm surrounded by dinosaurs and Jurassic Park Lego. I'm wearing at least 2 articles of clothing that are Jurassic Park themed at this moment. I mean, it's going to be Mark and I are switching roles today. He's going to be reining me in for not talking for 3 days on this film.
This is gonna be fun. I don't know if I'm capable of it, but I think I need this to kind of strengthen my toolkit as a podcaster. Be the one who reins things in. I think I've only had to do that once before in an episode that I can remember. It was a cliffhanger final fight episode for Movies, Films, and Flicks, and Adam Hodgins and Megan were on, and I like to keep them to like 20, 30 minutes, but this one went for 55. And by the end of it, Adam and Megan were just gabbing on, and I was just like, guys, stop.
Well, you've already failed by going on a tangent.
Yeah.
And telling an anecdote. That's wasted more time.
Oh, well, whatever.
Not wasted.
Listen, people who listen to this, I think, are used to us. I don't know. I think a very succinct Mark would be kind of odd for people. I couldn't change now. I'm old. I can't do that. But Jay, all right. There's so many waterfalls in this movie. There's great waterfall work, and you can go hike some of these waterfalls, which is pretty wonderful. I don't know if you know that.
I assumed that they're out there and exist.
They call it the Jurassic Park waterfall in Hawaii. I learned that mucus is 95% water.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Because when the brontosaurus sneezes, that's a lot of liquid that just pummels them. So, that's Deep Blue Sea adjacent because it's... no, it's not. I'm just with water. Also, Jello. There's a lot of good Jello hydration and water.
Yeah,
so, I mean...
okay.
Jurassic Park, even with its snot and Jello, is water adjacent.
This is true. I don't want to start expanding Deep Blue Sea adjacency to include gelatinous desserts. We're like, tell you the chance of meatballs. From other films I can't think of.
Like, there's rain in it. All right, hard rain.
Hard rain's on the list.
Deep Blue Sea adjacent.
Hard rain.
John Wick
they spend the film wading through water. That's Deep Blue Sea adjacent. That's fine.
John Wick Chapter 4 is Deep Blue Sea adjacent.
I haven't seen it yet.
Kitchen fight.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, so which water scene, which Deep Blue Sea adjacent thing do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the glass of water?
Yeah, let's go chronologically. There's the cup of water on the dashboard. I feel like the best films, the most iconic films, have the moment that just everyday life you can just be reminded of it. Like, I have a glass of water on my desk at the moment. If someone walks past with heavy footsteps, it will ripple. And that's just like, oh, Jurassic Park. And I'm just thinking about it immediately. It's like, everyone has to have a shower, so you think about Psycho. Everyone goes to sleep, you think about Nightmare on Elm Street. It's these things that are just in everyday life, you take you back to that film, and that's such an iconic image, the rippling water. And then later, Malcolm sees the rippling in the T-Rex footprint. And it's just like, yeah, more of this stuff.
Double ripple.
Double ripple.
And then there's a Jello jiggle.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's more from a trembling hand than a velociraptor footstep.
So we got the double dribble. Is that double dribble?
Double jiggle.
Double jiggle.
Double jiggle.
And the Jello jiggle.
Yeah, the Jello jiggle.
So I have a question. So apparently this all comes from Spielberg was in his car listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Of course.
And it was sort of shaking his water. What song do you think was playing? It's got to be September.
I mean, I didn't know they had other songs.
Boogie Wonderland.
Okay. Earth, Wind, and Fire, not my band.
Oh, okay. I mean, Let's Groove. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be September.
Yeah.
But there's not much bass in that, is it?
You're asking the wrong person. I mean, Spielberg says like it was the bass that hit. I think he was listening to Boogie Wonderland and he was boogieing on in his car. He was dancing, and that's what caused it. He's like, oh no, the bass kicked in. It's like, no, you were doing that weird like diving underwater swimming move in your car.
This is something we have to see. He's just parked on the freeway somewhere in California, and just boogieing to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Now, was he parked or was he like stuck in traffic?
Oh, I mean, I guess he was in drive, but his foot was on the brake, and he was just stuck there.
Yeah.
It wasn't the type of traffic jam we just put in, park it out your car, and you look out like, hey, this is going to help. This is the kind of
La La Land. Kind of.
Emma Stone comes running by, and a bunch of people in primary colors just start dancing.
I do like that scene.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then he's like, you know what I love about him is he'll get on the phone with all these people. It's like, hey, Dean Cundy. Hey, I have his name right here. The dinosaur effects guy.
Phil Tippett.
Yeah, Phil Tippett. And then he also calls, I swear to y'all, I had it right here, but I went to go find this thing. Michael Lantieri, the dinosaur effects supervisor.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I want that water ripple. And you know what I love on set? It's like, I want this. And then the people go, got it. And then they turn their heads, and I'm not going to swear, but they're just like, oh, like now we gotta.
Yep.
Spielberg wants us to make a cup ripple.
I mean, but it sounds like the easiest thing in the world. It sounds like, okay, it's a cup of water, just make it ripple. I mean, I hadn't considered how difficult it would be to do that until you start reading into it. It's like it took like everybody on the film was trying to work out how to do it, and they couldn't work out how to do it. And it was like months and months trying to work out how to make this bloody cup ripple. And it's just you attach a guitar string to it and have someone under the car bang it at the right frequency. Basically.
Because you can't just punch the car. Like that'd probably be too aggressive.
And you can't have an actual T-Rex walk past. They're not alive anymore.
The T-Rex wouldn't cooperate.
It would not. It's like the animatronic one wouldn't. Let alone I think a real one, it wouldn't show up to the set.
And all, like I just love that. He's like, I set a glass, started playing notes on a guitar, and got to the right frequency, and it did exactly what I wanted to do. He's like, to replicate that for the shot, they fed a guitar string through the car down to the ground, and then I had a guy lay under the car and pluck the guitar string just to get the car ripple. Like I love that so much. Just the amount of work that they had to do, like for Tim to see that.
And like, there's some Mark Hoffmeyer-esque guy under that car doing that job, and no one knows who he is. And that guy is responsible for this one of the most iconic moments of 90s cinema. Like, no one knows who he is. It could have been you. I don't know.
You know what? I was 12 and I was there. I was in Hawaii plucking that guitar string.
But he needed someone who could fit under the car. That like they had a 12-year-old. 12-year-old would fit. So.
The closest I've ever come to like I've been that guy a few times, like pushing cars up and down. The closest I can come to liquid is I was doing like a hotel commercial with a guy that talks really fast and hey, it's a hotel and like everything's big, and he had a big cup of coffee, and I had to take a big thing of coffee and just pour it into his mug from like 4 feet up.
And you poured the wine in.
Oh yeah, and I poured the wine. So yeah, geez, I have a prestigious water career. going on here. Oh, I was a swim coach in Teen Wolf.
There we go. Everything you do.
What? I'm pretty sure I've done other water things now. If you just give me time to think about it, but now's not the time. We'll do that. But no, I mean, I love it, and I think it plays so well. It's so iconic. It's such a great trailer moment. I mean, that moment alone, Jay, got you know a million butts in seats just to
Yeah.
see that scene, and it's so instantly recognizable.
I'm sure. I think it's been used in advert and like commercials since then. Not even just for Jurassic Park, but just there's like a Sky, the TV channel here that plays movies, Sky Movies. They have like commercials sometimes, which is just a cup of water and it ripples, and then and that's just it. They're advertising films in general. Just that rippling cup water is synonym for films.
Yeah. I mean, but like, is there? It's just so you see it, and you're like, oh, okay, they play movies on this channel.
Yeah,
Cool. It's like ET putting his finger out, or
yeah,
like other
exactly.
instantly recognizable things.
It's the boulder rolling down the hill. It's
The pool scene in Showgirls.
sure. A film I haven't seen. But I sense we're gonna have to cover at some point if there's a pool scene.
Imagine watching that. That scene just comes on Sky, and the whole family's sitting around, and that scene comes on. There's gonna be a lot of angry families
I
because that's a
mean,
gnarly scene.
are we gonna have to do the pool
Love it.
scene from Wild Things as well?
Yeah, I'm covering Wild Things with Zanandi
Okay,
on the
we
Movie
can
Sets
have
and Flicks.
like a sordid month.
Oh, that's funny. We should.
We've already done Piranha 3D, so
I mean,
let's
there's
do.
alligators in Wild Things. There's boats. There is water scenes in it.
Okay, we'll do a whole episode on Wild Things.
I mean, it's Florida.
Yeah,
We got to
we're
do
the expert.
Crawl on Deep. We got to bring Zanandi on and do Crawl for Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. Shay.
Absolutely, we absolutely will. We'll do
All right.
Gator month.
So
I don't know.
what again? Oh, don't tease me. Don't tease me with a good time. What's the second water? So we have the water cup, the
We
puddle.
have Sam Jackson is in this film and does not survive this film, so we have to at least discuss the passing of Mr. Arnold.
He loses
Uh,
his cigarette smoking arm, and so does Stellan Dr. Jim Whitlock in Deep Blue Sea.
Indeed, he does. Yes.
If you smoke in these movies, they'll not only bite your arm off, but they'll bite your arm off that you use to smoke cigarettes.
Yes, but in this case, the raptors don't eat the cigarette.
So yeah, that shark did eat a cigarette.
They know better than that. Yeah, it was in the calorie count that I did for how much the sharks ate was like included the cigarette.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean Sam Jackson though, hold on to your butts doing the computer work. I mean Deep Blue Sea has the computer work. Just watching him hack away. He's the Rappaport of this movie.
yeah, absolutely. I hadn't considered that, but yes, he is. If you mix like him and Henry Wu together, maybe you get the right people. Actually, I think
Think of,
there's some Scoggins in Nedry as well. A little bit.
oh yeah, there's definitely Skoggs and Ned. But think about it. Skoggs gets killed when they're turning the power back on. Sam
Yep,
Jackson's get killed when he's trying to turn the power back on.
it's a very deep blue sea. It's a very deep blue scene. That one.
Wow. Just watching this movie though, when they feed the cow to the raptors, like that happens in Deep Blue Sea. Like
The
Rennie
harness
knows
gets
what's up.
wrecked.
Rennie knows what's up. Rennie's like, I like Deep Blue Sea. I like sharks. I like Jurassic Park. I like sharks. Let's just show a ton of sharks and Deep Blue Sea it and kill all the sharks in the ways of the Jaws movies. Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
A
I mean,
plus.
you can tell he likes Spielberg. He has to. I mean, everyone. Yeah, but like even just the setup for Jurassic Park, where there's like a wealthy benefactor flies to an island he owns, but is trying to be shut down dependent on results of a pivotal weekend. There's a skeleton crew. There's an incoming storm. There's a team member with a secret. There's genetically modified creatures whose ancestors were alive millions of years ago. Ominous shapes of gates and doors locking. Talking of animals hunting in packs. Animals testing how to escape the facility. The animals are smarter than they were expected. Sam Jackson dies. There's a feeding time. There's a gourmet chef. It's like science. A scientist talks about his ex-wives. It's like so many things in this about people related.
Because it's beautiful, man. Like every movie copies from each other. So
Yeah.
like, why not? What else is there?
I mean, there's a kitchen fight we're going
Hmm.
to talk about. Like a sort of map at one point. Uh, I can't even read what I've written here. I was so excited. I was just going to watch Jurassic Park again. It's been so long since I've watched this film just to watch it. Like animals breaking a big piece of glass. The roof of the car.
When you're riding your bike, do you go da na 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 na
I
and you just put your head up in the wind and just feel it hitting you?
I have three full movie scores on my phone. They are Deep Blue Sea, they are Con Air, and they are Jurassic Park.
The perfect triple header.
Yeah.
You need to go to in amphitheaters, they'll do John Williams live. They should do
Yes.
those three live. They should do the same guy did Con Air and Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
So this is what you got to do. Go to an amphitheater and do a Trevor Rabin night.
Yeah. We could be some Armageddon in there as well. He did. Uh,
I think people would just like riot
he
if
did
they went to
National
a
Treasure
microwave.
as well.
Oh my gosh, Bruckheimer fella.
Yeah. G-Force.
I was watching that. I was like, the score really propels this movie.
Does Nick Cage wear a sleeveless shirt in G-Force?
Hey, so what's your favorite waterfall moment in this? So we have when they're landing the helicopter at the island, when when we have Juanito and Gennaro, they're walking through the kind of dig. There's a waterfall, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna call where Nedry is killed a waterfall because it's not like a real waterfall. It's more of like it's water. There's
I'd
a lot
say
of
it
water,
counts.
and yeah. So what's
Yeah.
your favorite of the three?
I do love waterfalls. Whenever we go on vacation to Scotland, I'm always desperate for pictures of waterfalls. I love them. It's the Nedry one. I think it's the least impressive waterfall, but it's the one that I want to stand by the most. 'Cause I think that's when you can have like a picnic by and just listen to that trickling all day. But that's just a wonderful scene. That's the one where the waterfall is implemented in the scene because he has to fall down it. Essentially, he's like slipping and sliding and dropping the barbasol can. Yeah, so that's my favorite because that's a great scene. He's such a great hateful character.
It's
The
horrifying.
Yeah, it's a better death than he gets in the book. In the book, he has to describe being eaten alive.
Gosh.
Unpleasant.
Just he gets murdered in the car and you see the car shaking. Maybe that's maybe Spielberg was fighting one of those spit
Dilophosaurus.
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dilophosaurus in his car and he saw the water and he went, "Oh,
hey, it could happen.
maybe a badger got loose in his car and he's fighting it
And
and
it
he
spat in his
notices water."
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Who wins, Spielberg or a badger?
Cool. I mean, Spielberg is notoriously a nice guy. I've seen The Fabelmans. I think the kid in that would be taken out by a badger. So I'm gonna say the badger.
Yeah,
If it's a
I
honey
like
badger,
that.
he hasn't got a chance.
Oh no, he's
Let's take the car.
when they open the door after the fight, people are going to remember that for years because it's just so bloody and horrifying.
I think they open the door and they don't suspect a thing because the badger is now wearing Spielberg's glasses and clothes and is driving the car. And for the past 30 years, there has been no Spielberg. There's just been a badger.
That
It was
explains
replaced.
all the pro badger rhetoric in his movies
It
now,
does,
Jay.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Remember in Bridge of Spies when Tom Hanks is trying to sell the business and he goes, "You know what, guys? Badgers, underrated.
Think about it.
Save them." So going back to business, so let's get these troops out of here. Saving Private Ryan. We need you to save Mr. Badger. Oh, I mean, Private Ryan.
Not even private badger.
General Badger. General Badger.
Yeah, that's what I
There
mean.
it is.
That wasn't Dennis Farina in Private Ryan. That was a badger. He's cast a bunch of them in his films, just in some of the smaller roles. But
Is this like a Rakakuni situation where they're controlling the person or they're inside?
I'm saying it is a badger.
Whoa.
Like it's partially shaved badger wearing Spielberg's clothes.
Man, I gotta tell you, you're really blowing my mind. Everybody I see now, I'm gonna like ask him a question to make sure a badger hasn't taken him over. Where did we first meet?
You got to hope that they've become a badger since that point. They haven't always been a badger.
I hope I don't become like Donald Sutherland and I do that pointing scene in Invasions of the Body Snatchers. So in the book of Jurassic Park, there is a really great water scene that I remembered reading in the lagoon where the T-Rex, yeah, when the T-Rex comes after the raft and it's not swimming, it's kind of walking, but you see its head like an alligator and it's going after the raft. And then instead of killing Lex and
Tim.
Alan and Tim, it sees another T-Rex eating its food and goes after and fights it, or the other T-Rex ducks out of the way. But that visual of the T-Rex in the water looking like an alligator has always stuck with me. Like
Yeah.
that was a really cool visual. But I understand why you don't do that in a movie because it would have been very expensive. And he'd already
Yeah,
done
yeah.
Jaws.
So they had bad enough like having the T-Rex out in the rain. If they tried to submerge one, that would have been tricky.
It would have been me with like a pole and a T-Rex head swimming underneath.
Just like a hand that they CGI'd. Like, they just a little cardboard cutout.
That little thing from New Hope that pops out with the eyeball,
Oh, the
just like
Dianoga.
my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I love that. And also too, I remember playing the Jurassic Park video game and I sent you this clip on Sega Genesis.
I didn't
There's
know
an
this
entire
existed. This was new to me.
you can be a raptor or you can be Grant.
That's
So you can
cool.
play as a raptor and eat things and kill people.
It's like the
Or you
King
can be
Kong game.
it's so awesome. And then like but that rapid level, you get on a boat and you have to keep picking up you have to keep up picking up gasoline and you have to shoot Dilophosauruses, T-Rexes
And
and
Raptors.
raptors
Yeah,
with like tranks or you throw grenades at them.
that was
And then
pretty
there's
cool.
and then there's brontosaurus heads that pop up and you have to go in between them. And if you fall too far, you go
Yeah,
ah.
I didn't like that he killed the Triceratops at the end. That's a nice
Yeah.
one. Like that's how you get out of the levels. You kill the trike. What the
Did he
hell?
gas it or he killed it, didn't he?
Yeah, that thing fell. Well, that thing fell over. I'm not sure. Either way, no, thank you.
Imagine that. You're a triceratops just munching and this dude comes up and blows you up.
He was going to let it pass, or she was going to let it pass.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
But it's a fun
Yeah.
game though, isn't it? Like there's some cool like Dilophosaurus is just
Yeah.
spitting. Raptors are dead. Like just it's a cool game. I remember playing that. I never beat it. I never had the patience to beat video games, but I did remember. I do remember that level, and I liked it a lot. So I had to send you the clip. You can
Yeah.
beat it in like
Thank
3 minutes.
So that means
So
like a half hour run through the whole game.
yeah, never have to buy it. I need to
Yeah.
do the Lion King run through. That's a game I never beat, and it's always haunted me. Jay,
Another thing I didn't know was a game.
research it.
Okay.
I feel like people my age who had or played on Sega Genesis have flashbacks and just shudder.
The Mega Drive was my first console. So
Oh, Mega Drive. What's that
yeah.
one?
That I mean,
Mega
it's not
Drive?
a Sega Mega Drive. I think if that's
me
what
look
I
it
called
up.
it at least.
Oh yeah, Sega Genesis, or known as the Mega Drive.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was the Genesis. Okay.
Hey,
Uh,
so we both had a Sega Genesis.
yeah, there we go. I didn't know it. Okay, Mega Drive outside of North America. Okay, that's fine. That's I am outside of North America. That makes sense. So
I
yeah, I
thought we were.
had very few games for it though. We had like columns, and like Sonic 2, I think.
They were expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
I do. You almost got me thinking about Malibu's Most Wanted there when there's that scene where he's like, I got Gamecast. He's like, well, you either got GameCube or Dreamcast. And the guy goes, I don't know. I got no money.
Dreamcube.
I, I got a Dreamcube by. I don't want to talk about it. I got it through nefarious means. I didn't do that, but someone out like it's kind of off the back of a truck. Someone offered
Yeah.
it to me. Yeah, and then I traded it for something else, but then I wanted it back because I tried to play that Resident. No, I swapped Resident Evil for another Smash Brothers or something. And I tried to play Resident Evil and it horrified me too much, so I never played another horror video game ever again. Jay,
Oh, I don't think I've ever played any either.
just like I'm a wimp. I'm a big wimp.
I watch horror films, but horror games, I don't know. That's you got to be too locked into it, I guess.
Yeah,
Not to concentrate too much.
that's a good point. And I only play them during the day. I'm not that tough, Jay. So, what are your thoughts about like? All right, so we've talked about the sneezing. We've talked about all the water coming through. Lex has to go hide in the water drain. The wonderful footprint with Jeff Goldblum.
Yep.
Sam Jackson dying, arm losing, and the kitchen fight, which is beautiful.
The kitchen fight is delightful. Friends of the show from French to Sunday, Lindsay, Jess, Nick, they used to do a treasure hunt kind of thing in Baltimore where they'd get like teams of people, they'd give them a list of things they had to go and do and film and things. And one of the things one year was they had to go to IKEA and recreate the kitchen scene from Jurassic Park and like film themselves doing it. And so you had like 12 different teams of people going to the same IKEA in Baltimore trying to recreate this. I don't live there, unfortunately. I would love to take part. but you get points for doing it, and it's an iconic scene. I love it. I love the scene. I love the like Lex hiding in a like she has to hide in an oven is another similarity to Sleep Sea, kind of. There's like more like a cupboard, I think. She's like
Hmm.
hiding in this mirrored thing. It's like I like that they're trying to trick the raptors and they're jumping around all over the place. This CGI is 30 years old and it's amazing. It's impeccable. It's beautiful.
It's incredible. And when Lex goes running with her arms just straight out, beast mode like, I
Yeah.
love it. Like these kids, man,
It's like
they
straight at the door.
and I like too that she's the hero in this situation, not Tim. She's sort of looking out for her brother.
Yeah, well, he's recently been electrocuted. Let's not forget.
I mean, listen, yeah, it's true. I guess he's still got some cobwebs.
Human piece of toast.
Give him a piece of toast.
He's Big Tim, the human piece of toast. It's a line from the film. That's what
Oh
Alan Grant calls
gosh,
him. I didn't spot that until like the 20th time I watched the film.
gee, I don't think I've ever known that.
I saw
But
an outdoor screening once, and that's my new addition to seeing at that time was like, hey, he calls him a human piece of toast. I'd never picked up on that before.
I don't really do captions much, but I might have to do that just to pick up on some lines I might have missed from this movie. But no,
Yeah.
I love that a lot. I dig when she pulls that thing down. Spielberg has a way of finding such great child actors in this movie, and like I think Tim and Lex are just really great. Like they just nail the role, and you like them. You know, Jay, how many kids have you been annoyed of in movies? Like,
All of them. Like I don't
Tim and
like
Lex?
kids. Tim and Lex are the exceptions. They are. It's rare for me like for kids to be in this kind of situation and me to be like, no, eat them. Like take these kids out. Like this is like a problem. This is where one of the many reasons why this film's better than the rest of the franchise is the kids, where they are so much more likable and just better actors than the rest of the franchise. Like I hate the kid in the second one. We'll talk about that soon. I think it's not necessarily her fault. It's what they do with
No,
the I'm sure she's
definitely
a
not
lovely
her
person.
fault.
No, but they make some choices with the character that I wish they hadn't done. And like the kid in the third one, I find really irritating as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. But you know what's nice about these two is that they're just nice kids, and so you have they're not brats. Like they're stuck with the lawyer, but they don't fight back. I mean, when he doesn't want to climb the the fence, it's fine. It's heights. A kid can
Yeah,
be scared of that. Like they're quite
he's an indoor
resourceful.
kid.
She can hack. I mean, it was the '90s. Everyone was hacking, so it doesn't matter. So it's like they have certain abilities.
The kid's got
They don't.
jokes.
Oh yeah, the snot part, like they seem like good kids. And you think about Jurassic World, like the kids are not good. They're just brats, kind
Yeah,
of like.
like in this one, they kind of argue a little bit. They know each other a little bit, but not like to an annoying degree. Whereas,
Yeah, the brother and sister.
you're a nerd. I said, I'm a hacker. You know, it's just a little bit. I love how they both really want to hang out with Alan Grant, and he doesn't. Um, I don't know if I get my dislike of children from him, or if it's something else. I don't know.
Like leaves the car with them and
And
just.
when she trips on the way to the Triceratops, and he like catches her hand, and she won't let go, and she's doing that weird thing. I love that. There's loads of little moments. Uh,
Oh, and one thing we forgot to talk about is the water drop scene in the car with
oh
Chaos.
yes, the chaos theory. Yeah,
When man, I
that's a
gotta tell
crazy
you,
scene.
Ian Malcolm is like he's a leech. Like
Yeah, yeah.
he's shifty. Like
He needs to tone
Ellie
it down a little bit.
Ellie shows up with Alan, and he's just grabbing her hand. He's doing the touches. He's just, ugh.
Yeah. There's
And it's not
excessive
chaos.
personality.
Like he's like, oh, watch this. I'm gonna put a drop of water on your hand, Jay. But because of your blood vessels and the stuff on your
Tiny
hands,
imperfections in the skin.
yeah, like that's not chaos. It's just a hand, like a
Yeah,
gross
that's
hand.
just your hand's not like a flat plane. So it's like,
It's not a tube that goes one way. It's gonna go all over the place. But I guess what he's saying is there's variations to every little thing that can happen.
he's just trying to touch her.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's just
true.
being creepy.
All
Yes,
those, hey, let me help
he's
you
a
with batting
fun character
practice.
to be around, but he's a creep. Do your show.
He's Jay. Do you think if you're golfing, he'll try to show the lady how to golf? He'll show the batting cages.
Absolutely, or bowling, or any playing pool, any of these situations. You go, oh no, let me. This is how you hold it. No, no, you hold the cue, and then I'll hold the cue around you. Yeah, like
Oh
this.
man,
Yeah.
Oh man. And then you
So,
never know if he's a Brundlefly and you don't want to get your arm snapped. So man,
so
Goldblum's got a couple zits. Has he gone full fly? Like, should I
what
mess
what
with him?
what dinosaur in Jurassic Park would you most want to get into a fly transporter thing with?
Well, and then slowly become that.
Yeah,
So it has to fit.
there's no good scenario. There's no right answer.
It has to. So like the fly, he can climb on walls. Probably just a raptor because they're smart.
Yeah, I feel like whatever it is, you're going to kind of turn out the same thing because they're all reptiles.
Triceratops sounds horrifying because I don't
Oh
want to
God,
grow spikes.
yeah, like Rhino Man.
I mean, raptors are clever.
Stegosaurus is going to ruin all of your clothes.
Yeah, I don't want a tail. Am I going to grow a tail?
They all have. I mean, probably they all have tails.
Man, that's going to be a lot of work.
I
Yeah,
think
I guess.
I might go with Dilophosaurus because like you have like weaponry and you have like this cool Elizabethan ruff that comes out your neck. That could be fun.
Hey, Jay, you going to dress up? No, watch this.
Already done. It's done. To the town.
Oh, wow. That's a. Yeah, I just don't want to be able to spit acid. Go
You
like
don't?
tar.
You can control it. It's
Uh,
not like you're doing it randomly.
yeah, but who knows? I got spit. Oh, there's my
Melt,
couch gone.
melt through the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I would take a raptor because you're clever. They can click their little feet on the ground, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
They're smart. So you're basically, yeah, raptor. Let's do raptor.
Okay.
I would do that. So the Brundlefly, I'd be Hofmeyer raptor, Hofter.
It's a helicopter.
I'd be a Hofter. Yeah, put a helicopter in there too. Put the three of us in. I'd be a robot raptor human.
Yeah. Sure.
Imagine that, Jay.
Roboraptor Man.
Hey, who's flying by? Oh, that's Hofter.
He's a transformer. And also a beast guy. Whatever they're
Wait,
called.
I thought he was going to become full raptor. No, like I guess the robot stuff sort of like the like parts from the helicopter sort of prevented that. So he's just a transformer now.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, let's go back to pickleball. So what's your favorite water scene in this movie?
Oh, favorite water scene. I mean, it's probably the ripples. It's probably the ripples. It's just so iconic. It's just that. Because I mean, I love just the progression of the film, like how they start off. Yeah, there's an opening like dinosaur kill, but you don't see much of it. Like, shooter, shooter. After that, you like see the herbivores and the pack, and then they're going through the ride and they see nothing, and then they stop. And you've seen a goat feeding at this point. The goat disappeared. But then the ripples, you know, something's coming. You know it's
Hmm.
big. You don't know what it is. It's just that tension.
Perfection. What a
What
great,
about
yeah.
you?
Um, I think when the Barbasol can is flowing down the river, the whole thing, all the death is just so pointless. Just watching that thing disappear.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a mean moment while he's getting ripped to shreds while he's listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire in the car, and just yeah, I just watching that the whole thing comes down to that, and it just washes away.
Yeah, at least with Deep Blue Sea, they're trying to like cure Alzheimer's. This was just for the joy on a child's face when it sees a dinosaur, but also the theft.
It's just this. I don't know what they thought, Jay. Though, like this is we're just gonna put these steel cables across. Like that T Rex is very large.
They used to
Like
be
that.
electrified. It's an electric fence. They're just not anymore.
I
The
mean,
fence
it's
went down.
like, but if a T Rex got a good head of steam and just knocked it over, it's
Yeah.
done.
We were debating. We reckon the raptors could probably, if they really wanted to, jump out of their little raptor enclosure as well. So those fences aren't that high, and they are. If you get a raptor on a raptor, maybe it could jump off of the raptor and over the fence, and then it's out. Hooray!
Don't get me started on triple raptors.
Raptors on raptors on raptors. It's raptors all the way down.
So I'm the head of a firm that paid for Jurassic Park. So
InGen.
explain to me what happened. How did this raptor escape from the paddock? Well, see,
We don't know.
blue, yellow, and red learned that. So blue and yellow started standing on each other. Yellow tries to jump out, almost makes it, but then like we're just doing the double. We should do the triple. Let's bring
See,
in red.
what happened was Hammond started talking about his flea circus, and the Raptors got an idea to make a raptor circus.
And then they stole one of the cars. I guess they put some genetic modified stuff we didn't know about
One of them
in
dressed
them.
up as Steven Spielberg. He directed this film, pretended to be a badger. It's actually a raptor.
One of the raptors got swapped in a morphine machine, like a transpo machine, teleportation machine with a car thief.
Yeah.
And we have just a raptor stealing cars on the property.
Ram theft raptor.
Yeah. Where's the Jeep? Oh, raptor. It's like Bullet, but Jurassic Park. He's wearing a leather jacket, and all the guards are chasing him in the.
A raptor with a leather jacket. I love it.
Oh,
Oh dear.
well, this was
Yeah,
fun, man.
this was a lot of fun. I love this film. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. My dog is called Murphy, which is Tim and Lex's surname. We're also looking after my mother-in-law's dog, who is called Lexi. So we have Lex and Murphy in my house at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Now you just need a Tim.
I mean, I pitched that the second dog should be called Muldoon. That was not agreed upon, unfortunately. Charlie, not the name of a character in this film.
You could call it Mitt. That's Tim backwards.
Sure. Hey, Glove, come here.
Cricket.
He does
Hey.
actually. He has eaten a lot of my gloves, so that could be why. Because we didn't call him Tim.
Told you.
Yeah.
See, you
Talking
could have prevented all that, Jay.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time. So where can
Okay.
people find you, Jay?
Sure. Well, you can listen to other episodes of Deep Pursuit the podcast, which cover Deep Pursuit distant films, or Con Air the podcast, where we're going through Con Air scene by scene. We're nearly done. Actually, we've almost landed our podcast. We're almost out of there. And lifeversusfilm.com is where I occasionally have some writing, and you can hear me once a month hosting movie trivia on Lampardy over on the Lamcast. What about you, Mark? What have you got to plug?
I got a couple videos coming out for Fandom. You can watch the Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast. Oh, I don't think... Whatever, I'm just going to promote it. We were just on the all-time best-selling list on Apple Podcasts, Movies, Films, and Flicks, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then I got a really cool thing coming up soon, but I can't tell y'all yet. I'll tell you probably on the next episode.
Nice. Well, the next episode of this show will be without Mark, but will be Song of the Sea. It should be the next episode, I think. Or it could be The Life Credit with Steve Zissou. I don't know. The schedule's a little... I don't know which one we're going to record first. One of those will be coming up soon, and the other one will be coming up shortly afterwards. So look out.
This is an evergreen.
Yeah, it's fine. Great. So, but as for Jurassic Park, I've been Jay Cluett.
Mark Hoff. Wait, Jay, when did we
Yeah.
first meet?
We did a podcast at the 1950s Lampley Draft.
So either you're not a badger, you've been a badger the whole time.
And then after that, I was on your show to talk about, I think Home Alone was the first one, or it could have been Airheads.
Yeah.
One of those two.
All right, you haven't been taken over yet.
Okay,
It's good to know.
When?
All right.
But how do I know that you're? Oh, how do I know that you're? When did we start doing this podcast?
Didn't we start in 2020?
Yes, we did. There
Yeah.
was some kind of pandemic. Anyway, as for Jurassic Park, I've been Jay Cluett.
And I'm Mark Hoffmeyer.
And we'll deeply see you again soon.